Worthiness.
What do you mean word
Worthiness.
association?
What does the word mean to you? Worthiness.
A person who's comfortable with themselves and is happy with what he or she, how he or she thinks
Guy who
and
rapes
acts.
children? He's
No,
comfortable
he's
with
not
it?
comfortable with that.
He's not?
Oh, no, he's not.
Okay. A guy who lies?
Perhaps. There's,
So,
there's
is he
plenty of
worthy?
them that do.
Is he worthy?
In his own mind, he might be.
So worthiness to you is someone who's comfortable with themselves.
And happy with himself.
And
That's
happy.
right. Exactly.
Happiness. Okay.
Honestly.
Honestly happy.
Yeah, honestly happy.
Okay.
Not pretending to be.
And happiness.
Happiness. Yeah.
Truth.
Truth is things as they are, as they really, really, really are, as they've always been, and as they always will be. There's no changing real truth.
Okay.
It'll be the same tomorrow, yesterday, and today. It's the same.
Real truth is a redundancy. Okay.
Well, whatever.
Muhammad.
What about him?
It's a word association. What do you think?
Muhammad was a true messenger.
Are you?
Yes.
Why you?
Why not?
I can think of a lot of reasons.
Why not?
I don't.
You said you could think of a lot of reasons. Let's have one.
I don't want to present them.
Please do.
No, that's not my job.
Well,
But,
you asked. Why not?
Why not?
Okay, the reason why me.
Why you?
Why me is because I had put myself into a situation where advanced human beings, with my free will, could intercede in this world, on this plane, what's going on,
Okay.
and call somebody who had a broken heart, a contrite spirit, and would have pretty much done whatever they asked him to do.
So you had the right heart, and God used you the way He does other people.
No, God had nothing to do with it.
Okay, let's ask you another question. God.
God is simply a human being's self-reality.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing outside of oneself that tells a person what to do, how to think. There's no influence for good or evil but what is inside one's mind.
So God is within us.
The kingdom of God is right there.
Yeah.
There's no such being.
Okay.
There's just me and you and any other advanced being in other solar systems. And if you can't see them and you're not talking to them like I'm talking to you,
Okay.
forget about this so-called inspiration.
Okay.
Doesn't work.
Inspiration, another word.
Inspiration is a fool's way to prove to everybody else that they're not a fool.
Okay.
Because inspiration is simply making something up in your head. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
Scriptural example in Isaiah. Isaiah pretty much comes out and tells people, look, where am I at here? Where's your viewers? Right there?
No,
Isaiah would tell anybody, I don't know where I'm looking. I'll just look at you.
It's not a good way to do it.
I'll just look at you. But he tells people, don't trust in man. Trust in God. Only in God. Because he knew something about human nature.
Okay.
That when a person wouldn't listen to anybody, not you, not me, they would go in their secluded corner, wherever it might be, and start to really, really, really get into the depths of their own personality. And there is nobody out there except yourself. And Joseph Smith taught that in the temple endowment. I think we briefly went over this. Joseph Smith, what he left, just briefly, he left in the temple endowment symbolically everything he wanted to tell the people but couldn't.
Okay.
And one of those was Lucifer. That's another word. Let's use that. Lucifer is simply human nature.
Okay.
Mortal human nature. That's all Lucifer is. It's the
flesh.
things that we do, the flesh, basically.
Okay.
And Joseph knew that the only answers we ever get, no matter who we're praying to, is from ourselves.
Okay.
And that's why in the temple endowment, when Adam is praying to God for an answer, God is off, nowhere to be seen. And have nothing to do with Adam. There's Lucifer. I'm the God of this world. What do you want?
Which was typified of just that's the flesh. Our flesh responds.
The flesh responds. Okay. There is no being outside of the human mind. Absolutely none.
Audience, hey, can we do a close-up on Christopher here for a second?
What, you want my best side or what?
I want you to just look right at that camera and be as handsome as you can be.
Yeah, okay. Just let me get next to you.
You're going to look ugly when you do that. I'm just kidding.
No,
Just kidding.
That's what we're trying to say.
Go on. Do a close-up on Christopher's face.
I need to drink your myth.
There's nothing in there, baby.
They didn't do as good.
Okay, now listen to me. I want you to look at this. What we have here is we have a man who is teaching things that are absolutely contrary to the book that we propose is true on this show.
That's exactly
now,
right.
He shows up on the TV some night, or on your doorstep, or across the table with someone who's searching for truth. He's good looking. He's well-spoken. He has ideas that are really unique and really interesting. And if you don't know what's in this book and you listen to this, you could believe that Satan is just your flesh. You could believe that there is no God and no church. I want to know from the LDS how you know the difference between Christopher and the message he's giving and the message that you are following in those temples and churches that you go to every week. I want to know. I know where I get my truth. And I will, look at, we could go to college professors, we could go through ad nauseum over history about the authenticity of the Bible. I mean, we could sit here for weeks and talk about it and just decimate the arguments that it's not trustworthy. But when we have somebody who's handsome and well-dressed who can stand up and tell a fairly good story, let me tell you, there's power. And people, they want to be led. They don't want to be responsible to that God. And so they create another fiction to make them feel comfortable. Christopher, another word association, sin.
Now, first, I have to negate everything he just said.
How do you do that? How do you negate? How can you negate what I said?
Because you got me on there, I got to tell your listeners what he just said. There are more critical analyses of the Bible than of the Book of Mormon, and they make more sense than anything you'll ever read. All you have to do is be willing to open your mind, look up the critical explanations. For example, one little thing that I don't know if Sean knows about, and it's called the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Compare the Egyptian mythology of Horus being born from Osiris and Isis, and compare that with the story of Jesus.
Joseph Campbell, his books covered that years and years ago. Norman Geisler explains that perfectly. So take the challenge. Keep your mind searching. Doubt it, but go and actually search out from reputable sources, not from someone who says, here is my mythology for you to embrace. Joseph Campbell, study him on myths and the Old Testament. You'll have your answers there.
All I'm trying to say is read the sealed portion. Read the sealed portion.
Of course. Because if this thing, which has been handed down for centuries and is historically, is evidentiary, is linguistically, is manuscript
Where are you
proven,
getting this stuff?
I get it from the simple facts of what the book is made of.
No.
But this is what they always do, my friends. This is what Joseph did. He demeans the word of God.
No, Joseph did not.
Yes, he did.
No,
it's
Joseph
the worst
did
thing
not.
he did.
No,
he said,
Joseph
as
did
far
not.
as it's translated correctly, that demeans it right there.
Joseph.
Let me tell you something. He produced another book because this one wasn't sufficient. He has produced another book because that book might not be sufficient. Everyone produces another book so that you'll read that book. Muhammad produced his. Everybody produces theirs. This is the book, and their first objective is to take your eyes off this one. It always has been. What vested interest, Chris, do I have to promote this book? What vested interest do I have?
Now, you don't want me to say that.
I do. I want you to say it. What vested interest is it?
You sell products that say Jesus dot. You sell products on your website, but you sell things.
Yes, not related to the
in the name of Jesus. What do you mean it's not? It's on your website.
No, they're not related to the word. We don't sell the word. We don't sell the word.
Your vested interest is you got people.
So it's money.
No. I won't say that. There's a lot of different motivations for people to become Bible believers.
Okay.
And be Bible teachers.
What is it? What
there
are they?
All kinds of them.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to say is, you're not unique, my brother. There's many of you.
I'm not unique. I am dirt, just like the stuff.
But I am, with all due respect.
I know you are.
Because there is no
Because
you've
been able to convince people of things that are from your mind.
I'm asking people to do what you would.
What's that?
You're asking people to read the Bible.
Oh,
okay,
and you're asking them to do what?
I'm asking them to read the Bible, then the Book of Mormon, and the sealed portion.
Okay.
And it will give you an understanding unlike anything you've ever had about religion, about God, about Jesus. And remember, it's all the center of it all. We have some agreement there. Is this man called Christ? Now, we have different opinions of what he was like, who he is today, what he does, what his role is. But the simple thing is, the end of my message to this world are based on two practical laws, which you mentioned a little bit. They're just a little bit different. They're where you go to your Greek Bible. No, you're going to need Aramaic.
Forget it.
Bible,
just keep
but
going.
okay, and it's this. Jesus never said, love God with all your heart, might, mind, and soul. He said this: love yourself with all your heart, might, mind, and soul, and your neighbor as yourself. That's how it went down. That was the translation.
Is that in the, what, did you say Aramaic?
You go well, you're not going to find it because you're not going to find, well, Sean, You're not going to find anything, you're not going to find any original document to prove that this Bible was even legit.
Oh, I agree with that.
Not one. You think the Vatican would at least have the Pauline papers. They have nothing.
First premise, don't trust the Bible. Second premise, trust what I've provided. Joseph did the same thing. Word association,
That's true.
Sin. What do you do with sin?
Sin is the absence of happiness.
Wow, that is just radically not true.
Well, you got your version of sin, I got mine.
Let me tell you something. I think pork rinds are probably eaten to an extreme, somehow sinful. And I am so damn happy if I can sit down and just scarf those down, Chris. So happiness related to sin is completely a misnomer. Read John Stuart Mill and about utilitarianism before you comment about happiness. Because let me tell you what happiness is, Chris. You love money, I give you $1 million, you're happy. I take it away, you're not. Happiness is totally circumstantial. You have based something on happiness here. Happiness is a lie in this world. It's a fallen world. You're going to get a cancer or you're going to get a toothache, and your happiness is going to go right out the window. It's joy we're talking about. That can be found only from knowing Him. You have provided a happiness serum, but you have not provided joy. And that's why you have followers who think they've gripped onto something, but they do not have that joy. They have happiness.
Have you talked to any of them?
I don't need to. I don't need to.
Come on.
I don't need to.
I mean, see, but you asked me, Sean, you said, what is sin? I said, the absence of happiness.
I know, and I'm telling you that sin is that's what LDS have always said. Wickedness never was happiness. That's in your Book of Mormon. I'm sorry, my friend.
Not my Book of Mormon.
It is in the Book of Mormon.
In the book of, there you go.
Wickedness never was happiness. I'm going to tell you something. Wickedness is often happiness.
Okay, so if that's the case, and let's go on that premise.
Okay.
I'm obviously a very, very wicked man.
So, okay, so you're wicked.
I'm a very wicked man. How come I'm so happy?
Because wicked's happiness.
What? You're confusing us all.
No, I'm not confusing anybody. Wickedness is happiness.
Sin is the absence of happiness.
That is totally incorrect. I am often very happy when I'm sinning. If I can pull over to the side of the road and punch somebody in the face who's cut me off, it makes me immeasurably happy.
Oh,
Chris.
come on.
No.
On.
There's no good old boy, come on. We're talking about John Stuart Mill utilitarianism. You are wrong.
I don't care about John Stuart Mill.
I know you don't care about him because he's based on logic.
Okay.
You have produced a premise that is incorrect.
You asked me what
is
is
the
sin, I gave
happiness.
it to you.
Okay, that's it. All right.
So go on to your next.
Salvation.
Salvation is simply when a person comes to know his or herself and they are happy with whom he or she is.
I'm a child molester who loves killing dogs and eating raw tuna on weekends.
Now,
I love it. It makes me happy. Give me more children. Give me more dogs. That's salvation.
Look, all you're doing is you're taking my words.
No, I'm just testing you on your words, which I don't think's happened yet.
You're not letting me respond.
Do it.
A child molester who kills dogs is not a happy person.
That's
you know that, and
now
he
you
knows
are
that.
reading into what they say.
Now tell me.
There's some very evil people who totally love evil, my friend. Are you kidding yourself? I mean, there are prisons with people who have done a lot of evil things who aren't remorseful for it, and if they get out, they say, I would do it again because it makes me feel so good, Chris.
Sean.
I'm
going to tell you one more time.
All right. Tell me one more time.
Sin is the absence of happiness, and there are many, many free-willed people on this earth. Salvation is when you've really got that happiness and know who you are. And there's all kinds of people out here in this world. Okay, you're going to reach your few little people who watch your show and stuff, little Christian Bible believers. But there are a plethora of individuals out there, especially the youth.
So now we go to the world vision, huh?
We're talking about people, they want to know.
I'm going to tell you something. You few little peons who love the Bible, I will be here every week to just talk about the Lord and Him.
Good.
And you be careful of these guys who have the world vision for the races and the people who are, struggling because of their color. Because let me tell you something. Jim Jones, the People's Temple, you know what he did? He established his whole thing after being so magnanimously concerned about the undertrodden and the blacks. And Guyana was filled with those poor people who followed him right out there into the jungle, and baby, the Kool-Aid came. So, Jim,
Jim,
Christopher.
So, Jim, yourself, now listen about this. So you're telling me that Christ is not an ecumenically universal person that would want equality throughout the world?
Third point. We preach no Bible, we preach a new book, and we preach that ecumenism and openness, love. And Christ was love. And you see, what we do is we try to bring everybody in because everyone loves that. You know why? Because if you just love everybody, you're never wrong. You're just filled with love, and you can just, boy, God must love me because I just love everybody, including the child molester who eats the tuna and kills the dogs. Because Christ is ecumenical. But he said, straight is the gate, narrow is the way, few be there that find it, in a book that we can't trust, you see. So we can't do that. So what did Christ mean when he said that?
Now, wait just a second.
Straight is the gate, narrow is the way, few be there that find it. What
Christ,
did he mean?
you're showing, you're demonstrating right now to your viewers and the people who are watching this, you're demonstrating the way Christ would react.
Absolutely. Like when he cleared the temple,
what he would do.
When he called them hypocrites, when he called them vipers, when he called them children of the devil, when he called them whited sepulchres full of dead, dried bones. Did Jesus say those things? But how do you know? Because you can't trust this book. Or do you trust that book on those things?
Jesus didn't say those things.
He didn't. Who
Not
did?
the Jesus that I know.
Well, what Jesus do you know?
That's what I'm...
You made up your own.
No.
Fourth point.
No.
A new Jesus.
There's no...
This is what he was about.
Why don't you ask me that question?
Because
who
what
is
I'm
Christ
doing
to
is
you?
I am showing to our audience that you are no different in terms of being a religious charlatan. You bring out the same things that have been brought out for ages, Christopher. Now I want to challenge you to something. And that is, why don't you admit on this show that you're a sinner? And why don't you admit that you need Jesus Christ in his real biblical form, and you've been conning people? Why don't you admit that these people have followed somebody who does not have a heart for them? You have a heart for yourself. I am challenging you right now that you turn and you get back to the book that way. Leave that Mormon crap alone. Leave your fake book out of it, Christopher. Come to him. Come to him.
Which camera guy here? Right
Anyone you want.
Sean is up in the night. Doesn't know me, doesn't know my Christ, doesn't know anything about my
Who
word.
is your Christ?
You want me to explain it to you?
Yes.
Each solar system in this universe, each solar system has an overseer.
We prove this how?
Because you can look up there, you can see there's a solar system. We're seeing how governments work. They don't work very well,
Governments.
correct? Now let me you're asking me.
I'm listening.
You're not letting me
I'm trying to listen.
anything,
I'm trying.
okay?
Because I'm kind of following ahead, and you say...
To what?
You're talking about Christ, and now you're talking about governments and space
You're
oddities.
telling me to come to a Christ that does not even exist.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm trying to explain to you a Christ that to people out there who think outside of the Bible box
I see.
are going to say, wow, now that guy makes sense.
And
But you're
they'll
not
follow
giving
you.
me a chance.
Because
why?
This is a Christian show.
I got you
You
there.
can't. You asked to come on the show.
I got you. You're right.
You asked to come on. I did not call you and seek you out. I've known of you for years. I didn't seek you. You asked on YouTube, I want to come on this man's show. So you're on a Christian show. Do you think I'm going to sit here and say, well, Christopher, you're just so charismatic and you have such wild ideas. You know, the Bible certainly couldn't be true. Or do you think I'm going to defend the thing that I know is right?
No, what I would like your viewers and others to do, take a look at his personality, his demeanor, his absence of happiness and joy compared to mine.
I am not happy. I'm not a happy man because I'm living in a bifurcated state of body and soul, body and flesh. How could I be happy when my spirit is calling for God and my flesh wants to take guys who lie and go at it with them? How can we do that? Paul said that, oh, wretched man that I am. I mean, that's the truth. We all have that. He's saying that you judge me because I'm passionate about the Lord, because he can keep a cool demeanor. You see, it's all about external. That's what Joseph was about. That's what the Mormon church is about. That's what Christopher's about. External presentation. He's gotten away with it his entire life. External presentation. And he's given it to you now. And he just appealed to it for you to say, look at how he's acting. He's not happy. Trust me. Fifth thing that they do. Christopher.
What's the sixth? You can have all these things.
You have to
come
talk.
up here.
When you open your mouth, I come up with them.
Well, the thing is, Sean, you're not giving me, and I can understand because you're basing it on Christian things. So let's go back to that. I think you probably want to get into your calls and stuff. But,
I don't think we have a call, do we?
The fact is, Sean's idea of Christianity and mine are completely different.
What's my idea?
Your idea is based on biblical myth.
Bottom line, what is it? What's my idea?
According,
Men are sinful. Christ came, died for our sins. Believe on him, be saved.
okay, now can I give mine?
You sure can.
Christ is the overseer of this solar system. We needed a government head to one day rule the 15 billion plus of us that are going to live in this solar system. And that's who Christ is. Nothing more than a government head. He needed to come to this earth as a mortal in order to show us what a decent leader, how that decent leader would live. And that's what Christ is. There's nothing more. The Bible is myth.
Did he have apostles?
Yes, he had people that followed him, people that he told, if you're going to go out there and teach people, teach what I tell you to teach and base it on my doctrine, which is, as you put a great scripture up, love people as I loved you. And I can tell you that Christ never treated people like Sean's treated me. Yeah, never.
It's always the thing they go to.
Ever.
It's always the thing. I just gave him an example. Read Matthew 23.
I know what was said.
You do?
But I can say this.
Wait. What does Matthew 23 say?
Now, I can tell you that
you're
a
what does
viper.
Matthew 23 say?
I'm not quite sure exactly
what it says. But you're supposed to be the one who is the expert on the Bible. What is Matthew?
Sean.
You told me no man on this earth knows the Bible better than me.
What does John 17:14 say?
I never said I knew the Bible. You did.
I would have to read it and give you a context.
You said no. Okay, all right. So
but what I'm trying to tell you,
Matthew 23 has Jesus go through a whole chapter saying, "Woe to you Pharisees! Woe you vipers! Woe you!" I haven't called you any pejorative terms, Christopher. I've simply alluded to your philosophy. I mean, Christ would call you actual names.
Now, wait a minute. You don't have...
What do you mean, wait a minute? He would call you names.
You have a version here that's based on...
So we can't trust that.
No, you
You're
cannot.
appealing to it, but then you don't trust it.
I'm not appealing to it. I'm trying to help you and your Christians see this.
They'll use it insofar as it will serve them, but they will discount it insofar as it goes against what they have to say. Christopher, we're out of time. It's been a great time.
Yeah.
Next week, are you coming back?
Sure.
Because next week, we're just going to get started.
All right.
All right. Tune in next week as Christopher, the new Joseph Smith, joins us here on Heart of the Matter.